Hey, what is going on, everyone? This is your boy Tanveer Side, the Bengal Dragon. Make sure to hit that like, subscribe, and bell notification buttons. This is going to be a brief review of the first test match between Bangladesh and Sri Lanka, played in Pallekele, Kandy, 2021. Everyone expected this to be a pace-friendly pitch, not only Bangladesh, but even Sri Lanka, as what I've heard is that since Sri Lanka does not have that many quality spinners, so their curators tried to make a pace-friendly wicket to try and help the likes of Suranga Lakmal and whatnot. But it turns out that this was essentially a concrete wicket with maybe some grass painted on it. So it was that flat. And you saw this in the first innings where Nazmul Hussain Shanto, well, first of all, congratulations to him for today. He is not Nazmul Hussain tomorrow. He is Nazmul Hussain Shanto. I believe he scored 163 runs. That's a good start for him. Mominul Haq got his first away test century, as in away from home. But the Sri Lankan conditions, I don't consider it a foreign soil condition because it's still within the subcontinent. And in the subcontinent, unless you sort of move more towards the west, let's say towards Gujarat or towards Pakistan or in Pakistan, the situation is pretty similar. So good for Mominul Haq for getting another test century. And Mushfiqur Rahim Letten Das also got some stuff as well, some runs as well. Saif Hassan, he has some technical issues, not only in the first innings where he tried to move a bit too early towards the offside and get LBW, but also in the second innings. That is not how you play a defensive shot. You play a defensive shot by putting your body behind it because your body acts as an extra barrier. So if there is an edge, there is a chance that the ball will hit your bat and then hit your body. You don't play a defensive shot like that. And just as a digression note, I actually sort of made the same mistake one time. I played a defensive shot in that fashion where I did not get behind the ball, and this is while playing blind cricket. And in blind cricket, you have two silly point fielders and one silly leg fielder almost all the time. These three fielders are generally completely blind, and they're allowed to take the catch on the first bounce, and that would be considered a catch out. So I played a bouncy delivery by not getting behind the ball and defending it that way, and the catch went on the first bounce to a silly point fielders. I later realized that had I put my body behind the bat, the trajectory would be a bit different and the ball would actually essentially right down the middle of the pitch. So that's a technical error Saif Hassan made. Maybe a bit too early to call him to the test arena, but I don't know. If they give him another chance, I wouldn't be surprised. Let me just quickly talk about the bowling. Mehdi Hassan bowled pretty well given the conditions, but he needs a bit more experience. Ibadat Hussain, he needs a lot more line and length control. Abu Jaid also needs some guidance. But the person that stood out definitely will have to be the task king, Taskin Ahmed. He actually bowled with a lot of intent, and the figures do not reflect how well he bowled, especially given this condition. You could see Taskin Ahmed, he actually bowled in an attacking fashion because he realized probably that in this type of a surface, you have to attack to get wickets. You cannot wait to get wickets. You have to attack to get wickets. And here's where I say even Tajul Islam, although he got 2 wickets, the problem I see with Tajul Islam is he is a very defensive test bowler. And he can work well if there is another attacking left arm spinner like Shakib Al Hassan in the side. On his own, Taijul Islam is not a good spearhead for Bangladeshi left arm spin bowling, especially away from home. Yes, he got 8 wickets and whatnot, but those were in very spin friendly conditions. A good spinner can bowl even outside of spin friendly conditions and get a lot of wickets, or get a decent amount of wickets at least. Because what we saw on day 3 and essentially day 4, it was painful. I thought at least Tajul Islam will at least get 1 wicket given how much he's bowling. In terms of the Sri Lankan bowling, their spinners, well, the curators were right in not having that much faith in their spinners because their spinners are still v- relatively lower in quality than they used to be compared to your Muralidharan and your Rangana Herat and whatnot. And Dilwan Pereira is not on the side, so go for pace. But that being said, there was nothing in this pitch for the Pacers up until perhaps day 5, where there was something finally in it for the bowlers, but not that much. I mean, to get a conventional day 5 pitch, you'd probably have to play on this pitch for 11 or 12 days. This was a flatter track than I have seen even in Bangladesh. And that is saying a lot. I never thought that this wicket will be that bad. That being said, one person that impressed me immensely. First of all, congratulations to Dhananjay De Silva and Dimut Karunaratne for reaching personal milestones, and especially Dimut Karunaratne for scoring close to 250 runs, his best score in first class and Test cricket. But one person that impressed me immensely is Tamim Iqbal. Boy, oh boy, did he have a different approach, especially in the second innings, where if you notice, when Tamim Iqbal got to his 50, Bangladesh were like 52 for 2 or 53 for 2. Tamim Iqbal got at least 50 of those runs. So this sort of tells you that Tamim Iqbal finally got it. Contemporary cricket. He finally got it. Let's hope he can manifest that into something more positive and more consistent. And he was very unlucky. He was not able to reach his 100. He essentially threw his wicket away because that ball, he middled that ball and he found exactly the fielder he did not want to find by middling that ball. If you middle a ball and you get out, that is somewhat unlucky. And I'm pretty sure Tamim Iqbal knew this was not a 200 pitch, this was a 300 pitch. This was a triple century pitch. That approach is very nice to see from Tamim Iqbal. Hopefully, he can improve his average, make it go back to a bit over 40, because he remained not out on 70 or something. And Mominul Haq also remained not out. And you also had bad light, you had rain. So overall, there was no way that this test match was going to get a result, especially given the pitch. So overall, I'll say this was a good recovery step for Bangladesh. But Bangladesh needs to move forward from here. From this recovery step, they cannot go on to the second test match and lose, because then that would be 2 steps backwards after taking 1 step forward. Bangladesh will at least have to draw that second test match. But most likely, Bangladesh will have to win that second test match, because now the players got an idea on how to properly play in these conditions, because the second test match is going to take place on the same ground. I hope not on the same pitch, but on the same ground. So let us see what happens April 29th. And until then, just keep your eyes on Bangladesh cricket and the reaction from the board and whatnot, if there are going to be any player changes, and let's see what happens. All right. Please do hit that like, subscribe, and bell notification buttons, as your subscriptions and your comments really help me remain motivated to keep making these type of videos. This is your boy Tanveer Sai, the Bengal Dragon, signing out.